verse 7, supplement to 40 verses on reality, உள்ளது 40 அனுபந்தம் given to us by Sri Ramana Maharshi. ஒளி உனக்கெது பகலில் இனன் இரவு விளக்கு. ஒளியுணர் ஒளியது கண்ணது உணர் ஒளியது ஒளிமதி. மதியுணர் ஒளியது அது அகம். ஒளிதனில் ஒளியும் நீ என குரு அகமதே. This verse talks about the only light that is Brahman, Atman. So this is in the form of a conversation in the first two lines. Oli unakkedu, what is light to you? In the daytime it is sunlight, in the night time it is the moon. Remember the context, this was written several hundred years ago. They are not talking about electricity. So in the night we see things with the help of the moonlight. In the sun we see things with the help of the sunlight. Right? What is in you which perceives the outside light? Eyes. Right? If we close our eyes, we do not perceive light. Right? Next, what is in you that perceives the light of the eyes? That is the mind. ஒளி உனக்கெது பகலினன் இரவு விளக்கு. ஒளியுணர் ஒளியது கண்ணது உணர் ஒளியது ஒளிமதி. It is the intellect which perceives, which knows the light of the senses, eyes, ears, etc. Then மதியுணர் ஒளியது அது அகம். What is in you that even knows or perceives? The mind itself. The mind itself becomes an object of perception. What is it that knows the mind? That I have such thoughts, I have such feelings, I have such emotions, I have such a storyline, and I keep constantly thinking about my desires, my commitments, etc. There is something which is behind the mind too. Adu aham, that is the self, that is Brahman. Olidhanil oliyum nee ena guru ahamade. The guru says, you are the light of all lights, and hence I am. The disciple says, yes, I am the light of all lights. What is that? Brahman. See, what we should understand is that Advaita says there is only one thing existing. What is that? Brahman. It is formless. It is infinite existence, infinite consciousness, infinite bliss. Fine. What about the universe? It is an appearance, a phantom-like appearance created on the screen of consciousness. So you deduct it, you remove it, what remains is only Brahman. Without Brahman, this transactional reality, this world, the universe, they do not exist. So we move from effect vision to cause vision. All of us are habituated to looking at the world, being enamored by the world, thinking that we are this body and the world is real, the body is real. That has been our ultimate reality. Now Advaita challenges it. Your ultimate reality, my ultimate reality is not this body and the world. There is something behind it. There is a secret agent, so to say, to use movie language. There is a secret agent behind everything. You name anything and everything. From man to animal to plants to planet to stars to light years of distance. You talk about anything, don't be bothered. It is not real. They are all temporary. They will come and go. There is something beneath all of them which will never come, which will never go because it was never born, it will never die, it is permanent, it is unmoving, unchanging. It cannot shake at all because apart from it there is nothing. Only if two things are there can one shake. There is no gap between Atma and Atma. It is everywhere, all pervasive. So this is what is said in the Upanishad, in the verse in the Upanishad too. Tameva bantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. That shining, everything else shines. Which means that happening, everything else happens. And in its light, everything shines variously. So Atma is so powerful. He says, Bhagavan says in Arunachala Ashtakam, Uladunil aladila adisaya shakti. You have that that wonderful power, limitless wonderful power. So Atma can do anything. If the whole universe we think is big, there is something bigger than that. Subtle, it pervades, it is in and through everything, yet it remains unattached. What are we talking about? Your true nature, my true nature. When, already and always. What is the problem? The veil. What is the veil? I am the body sense. This body sense is in the form of a software which has been accumulated over many lifetimes, and hence it has gathered a certain, strength that comes in between. The moment we wake up, this Chidabhasan, what is called mind or reflected consciousness, comes to our experience. We remain a prisoner to this limited consciousness, borrowed consciousness. What is original consciousness? It is Brahman. Shankara says the only light is Atman. The rest is all darkness. So what we should understand is that one only exists, and that does everything. That makes us function as an individual. That makes us perceive the world through our senses and the mind. And without it, nothing is there. Without the cause, there is no effect. Of course, Advaita Vedanta wouldn't call it a cause because it is causeless cause itself. And in its presence, the whole universe is happening through the power of Maya that belongs to Brahman. This physical order of universe is happening. So, when first I learnt this, that Tameva Bantam Anubhati Sarvam, that shining, everything else shines, I couldn't grasp the significance. Now, as I do Mananam, more and more Mananam, I do get this sense that it is Brahman and Brahman alone. So, if we give up our interest in the material order of the universe, body, other bodies, anything which is of the matter, in the form of matter, if we just give it up, you deduct it from us, what remains is only that Brahman, pure existence, pure consciousness, pure bliss. And that is attained through effort. We should not forget, effort is definitely needed. You have to still the mind, because our obstacle to realizing our true nature is this mind, what you call mind or intellect or memory, all put together, inner instrument. That is the obstacle. We need to clear that obstacle with effort. And the mind has to become still over a period of time, and it has to remain still for longer times. Only then we get stabilized. Sri Bhagavan points it out. Chittam Tiravamakkave Vendum. Your mind has to become stable. It has to abide in the self, and it has to abide there for good. Never to come back to thoughts. Because thought is the enemy. He clearly says thought is the enemy to realization. In the transactional reality, in our survival mode, thoughts are necessary. But after entertaining thoughts, having done all that had to be done, we can choose to become aware of our own thought process, mind, intellect, everything. We can look up, we can look to the source. We can look to the source or the birthplace of this ego. First, ego is born. I am the body sense is born. Then that boots with this body's memories. I am Sentivel. I was born in such and such place. This is my life history. Everybody has this life history. Set aside the life history. What remains is Atma. Atma shines forth of its own. We don't have to show a torch to the sun to help a child see the sun, because it is self-luminous, self-lustrous, and it is the only thing that exists. Atma is the only thing that exists. Other things do not. This is the state of Jnanam. Sri Bhagavan says, Nirprabhanjate Nilai, be established in non-universe. Yes, that is a state. You can call it a state, yeah. That transition happens with the help of inquiry, self-inquiry, vicharam. So, there is no light apart from Atma's light. There is no revealer apart from Atma. It is Atma which is helping the intellect perceive the world and the body and the mind. So, there is nothing apart from Atma or Brahman. One only exists. See, Bhagavan points out there is only one power. What about all of us? We do wield power, political power, intellectual power. All they are subdivided. The original power, maybe you can call it subdivided according to the will of each person, according to the desire of each person. So ultimately, the doer in you is actually the Atma itself. Because if there is only one power, how can you be another power or I be another power? Contradiction in terms. It cannot happen. This we need to realize. People have realized, as a man, nothing human is alien to me. There is a saying. So it is your birthright, my birthright. We need to realize our true nature through self-inquiry. That is the method taught to us by Sri Bhagavan. Then we'll realize that one only exists. When? Always. What about space-time? They are all born after the birth of ego. When the ego is made to subside in its source, where is the question of space? Where is the question of time? Where is the question of universe? Where is the question of body? Sri Bhagavan says, with the practice, a person experiences bodilessness. He has said it several times, I don't have a body. People were wondering, they were breaking their head. Bhagavan, we are seeing you in form. That is your experience. Jnani's experience is nothing. One only exists. One vast, boundless, infinite existence, consciousness alone exists. So what is light to you? It is the light of the sun and the moon. What is the light which is perceiving that sun and moon light? Eyes. What is the light that perceives the light of the eyes? It is the intellect, light of intellect. What is that light which also knows, perceives the light of the intellect? It is Atma. So Guru is saying that, disciple, I accept it. This is how we proceed.